Hey there, it's Jenny, and I am here today to share with you a memory planner layout. This is a BiG Happy Planner. It's actually from 2017, and it is from their Happy Memory Keeping edition. I'm using two supplies, count them two, from the Bloom collection from Cartabella, the sticker sheet and one sheet of patterned paper. I was really inspired and just loved the dark background on the floral, and then thought the stickers were really cute and thought the whole thing would make a really fun spring inspired memory planner layout. So I have photos today. You know I do. I have 10 of them. They're all about 2 by 3 approximately. I print them on my Epson PictureMate printer and I use the Pick Frame app, but really honestly any photo collage app will do. That's just the one that I've been using for 10 years or whatever. So I've trimmed apart all of my photos and now I'm going to begin placing them throughout the layout. I say this every time I share one of these layouts, but I try to keep them on the days that the photos happened. However, sometimes that doesn't work just based on maybe I have too many photos or the layout doesn't look as great as it could, etc., etc. So I then will shift them around if at all necessary. Usually that is photos of pets or things in my backyard, stuff like that, that it really doesn't make a huge difference because they don't really change a whole lot from day to day. So that works out a-okay. So you can see I've definitely layered some photos this week. A, I like the way that that looks, and then B, it does help save a little bit of space as well, especially like when I have two photos, for example, from one day or one event, that helps like cluster them together and make it obvious that they were meant to go together. I also really enjoy punching circles out of photos, but also out of paper and things like that as well. I just like the way that sort of shakes things up. And again, it also keeps the size of the photo, but also saves some space. Now, I don't love the way that the planner has that pre-printed area on the left side. So I simply trim a 2-inch wide strip of patterned paper and cover that up. I'm sure by the end of the year, I'll be very tired of that because every single page will look the same. So I'm sure at some point I will stop doing that every single week, but we haven't gotten there yet. So I tore the bottom edge simply just to add a little bit of texture and interest over there. I will cover up the little bit that is left that's peeking out underneath. But until then, all right, so that big Happy Planner punch comes in handy when creating a box of patterned paper for the background. So pretty. I love how that looks. And then layered with the stickers, it is perfect. I'd also like to state that I am very sorry for the lighting in this video. Pretty much exclusively I shoot with natural light, but it has been so rainy and so dark here that I have not been able to do that for this video. So I had to use desk lighting, which, I mean, it does the job, but it's definitely less than optimal. So I do apologize for that and for the shadows. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie, but you got to do what you got to do, right? Okay, so I'm going to adhere this punch circle of patterned paper up here, and then I'm going to cluster it with a couple of the stickers from this collection. They're just all so pretty. It's really hard to decide which ones to use because they all are incredible and have just these beautiful spring-like florals on them as well. I mean, the whole collection just feels like spring. All right, so you've got this, right? Like we've got the basic principles here. We've got the photos, we've got the clusters that would form a visual triangle for my embellishments. Sorry, I couldn't think of that word. And now the last thing is that we add any activities or appointments, and then we add some journaling as well. But before we do that, I want to just take the letter scramble alphabet stickers from Bella Boulevard and add them to the pages. I love alphabet stickers. I've been talking about alphabet stickers for years now. I think that they really add like a fun punch to a layout. They really stand out, but they're ultra simple. So you can kill a couple of birds with one stone simply by adding the alphabet stickers. And these letter scrambles come in multiple fonts and they're like $5 a sheet, maybe $6 a sheet with all of these alphabet stickers on there. So I'm super into them. I really love them because the colors are fantastic. So I'm just spelling out a handful of different things for this particular week to explain some of the things. Now, obviously, I didn't really need to write my dog's name. I mean, it's fairly obvious, so it's not necessary, but I like it. Like I think it's cute and fun, and then also in this case, it adds the third element so that we're keeping the odd numbers of things together right there. And see, you can make a visual triangle with those too. So very, very cute. I love that. So I use the two colors just to vary things and keep them all shaken up. All right, so I'm using these box stickers by Jojo Plans, and these are just to mark the different activities. In this case, they're mostly baseball games, although I do have dinner with my friends as well. And I'm going to use the Sharpie pen to write those directly on the stickers. Now, I don't have to do this. I can absolutely write on the page. I just like that this helps it stand out a little bit more, especially because there's just a handful of these activities on the page. I will link all of these supplies up in the description below in case you see something that you'd like to add to your stash or use for a very specific project. It is obviously completely up to you. I don't share for any personal benefit other than I know sometimes I see somebody use something and I'm like, oh gosh, yes, I totally need that. So I like to provide that for you as well. All right, so we've got these boxes and I'm going to add the last one for the dinner with my friends. And I did change up the colors in all of them, trying to keep colors that obviously match that bloom collection because they're very cute. But I also just like the varied because obviously there's varied colors in the bouquets and the pattern paper. And so I just want to sort of go along with all of that as opposed to using one singular color. And that hot pink right there that you can see, like that is not a color I would use very often. So I absolutely wanted to have the opportunity to use that. So I'm using a pencil just only for these little lines right here. I'm going to use mild liners this week for colorful lines. I haven't done that in a minute and I was really feeling like I need to try that out once again. So I just am going to use two different colors, a nice light gray, which matches some of the florals, and then a light blue, which also matches the florals as well. I don't have a ton of room for huge journaling blocks, so I'm going to kind of break up the journaling, if you will. So, for example, like right here, I'm going to talk about all the rain, and then the next one, I'll talk about baseball, as opposed to sometimes I have big chunks of space and I'll kind of combine all of the journaling for the week in one spot. But that's what I like about this project is that each week is different, right? Based on the photos, which correspond to the days of the week, and then therefore they don't all look the same. And I really have a lot of fun with that. I think that it keeps it interesting and I enjoy it a whole lot. So now we'll do the other side as well, and this is where I'm going to use the light blue mild liner to draw those lines. And again, it's really just a very small little cluster just to talk about dinner with my friends, but I like being able to notate those types of things. It definitely gives it a more personal spin. And over time, I will feel very happy with that. So now I'm just going to write that journaling in, and that is pretty much it for this week. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.